But welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Jibber Jabber with Jarvis. This week's episode features Hamhawks 42. So, if you haven't been here before, how it works is we randomly select a commander using EDA track, then we spin a couple wheels, then we build the deck. All while doing that,
Hooray.
I'm going to be asking Ham some questions about him. But before we ask questions about Ham, tell us about yourself, where to find you, what you do on the lovely internets.
So, hello everybody. My name is Graham. I go by Hamhawks42 on the interwebs. And yes, my name is Graham, just like the guy eating a sandwich in his garage. The fact that that is a fellow Graham in Magic makes me very happy. He's also fictional, but whatever, it's fine. So yeah, I primarily stream Magic the Gathering Arena here on Twitch in the morning, starting at around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I go between 4 and 7 hours most days. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time. Recently, we've been talking a lot about like Lorwyn spoilers and just chatting, which is just delightful. And yeah, I also have played a lot of Standard, but I'm entering my Brawl era. So if you wanna see some Brawl action, because like Standard has been like really repetitive and really high power and really like the games are like ending by the time I can put my third land down. It's getting really frustrating. And yeah, I've been starting to play some Brawl, and it's like, wait, I'm playing Magic? Like I'm making decisions that are impacting the outcome of the game? What? It's pretty great. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And we also do a show over on the YouTubes called Generic Commander, which is a thing that that you're also a part of. It's a lot of fun. So we play a lot of Commander. It's a thing. And I love group hug elements. And it's funny because I always kind of liked them because it encourages a fun game to happen of Commander. And Jarvis absolutely freaking hates them, and as a result, I love them even more now.
Can't stand them
It's very fun.
so much.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a delight.
They're awful.
So if you want to see that curmudgeonly back and forth, there's a whole year's worth of Commander games over on Generic Commander on YouTube. It's so much fun. I love it.
And I'm the
Also do
curmudgeon.
the Magic Jank podcast. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you definitely have curmudgeon energy, but it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I also have a podcast that we try to put out every week called the Magic Jank podcast. Actually, a new episode just dropped today where I was hanging out with Astro's Flame, and we made predictions for 2026 as it relates to Magic. So that was fun. Yeah.
Sounds great. So
I do other things too, but that's
yeah,
the majority of them. So, yeah.
you're all over the place doing stuff.
A little bit. I kind of don't stop. Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop. I must be stopped for the record, though. Please, somebody stop me. Please
Nah.
stop me. Anyway.
Well, you only need to be stopped so you can sleep.
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
But how it's going to work is we are going to randomly select a commander. You have 3 options, but once you pass on one, you can't go back. So if you pass on the first 2, whatever the third commander that shows up is your commander.
Plain stick the dealer. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Also, shout out to all my Michiganders who I know. Charlie, I know you know what I mean. Anyway, continue. Okay.
So the first commander is... I hate that they put this in here.
We can.
I'm gonna not count this one against you because they shouldn't put one.
We can veto this one just because it's this card
not out yet
for another like 6 months. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The first one is Suki Courageous Rescuer, a 3-mana mono white human warrior ally. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. It only triggers once each turn, and it's a 2/4.
I'm kind of on board with this. So these are random commanders. Are they weighted for more recent or no? Is this just a coincidence that we happen to hit?
It's just a coincidence. And hey, Christmas. It's definitely a coincidence.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. All right. Because I'm actually I'm down with Suki. Actually, I don't hate this. There's a part of me that feels like we should spin it again just to see what we get, but like. This we could build it in kind of a go wide fashion. We also have like blink effects. You could do the Conjurer's Closet, Airbender Ascension thing. Like we could lean into that if we wanted to. Like, I'm not mad at this.
The only thing that I bring up with doing this, as something different that we're doing this time compared to when I did this wheel before, we still have the budget element, but I also introduced the brackets to building the deck.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, it's possible you could build this anywhere from a bracket 1 through a bracket 5.
Okay. Ooh. How much of a bummer will it be to be shoehorned into mono white? I guess that's the.
The only thought process I had on it is mono white flicker or mono white
Yeah,
bounce is kind of straightforward.
it kind of is. Yeah, I feel this might be a little too easy. So yeah, I feel like this cool commander. If I like Suki, I think she's neat, and you can build this a couple different ways. But yeah, I would 100% be doing the flicker wisp nonsense. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and spin. Let's go ahead and spin it
Spin
again.
it.
Let's keep on moving. Yeah.
Why are we in the Universes Beyond EDA track? This one is Sauron, Lord of the Rings, but it's not the good Sauron. It's 5 in
Oh,
Grixis for an Avatar Horror. When you cast a spell, amass Orcs 5, mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Trample, and whenever a commander an opponent controlled dies, the ring tempts you. And it's a 9/9.
I mean, it puts 14/14 of stats onto the battlefield just for 8. So I feel like with this one ramping, I've seen this commander in action, and if you have like fast mana, it can actually get out of hand shockingly fast. Um, and this is also like Grixis Reanimator. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I love the artwork on this because the image is definitely showing Sauron like wielding a sword and like looking over, like kind of facing his bicep, or facing his elbow, I guess you could say, if you're not like a muscle bound, arrogant douchebag like me, really, or muscle headed douchebag, I should say, like claiming that I actually have them. That's different. Anyway, like looking in that direction. However, with the shape of the helmet that the artist went with, it definitely just looks like a horse head facing the other direction,
I was almost
and I
thinking like a
find that
wolf.
so funny. Like.
Yep.
He's like a reverse centaur thing going on, and I get the biggest kick out of that because like that's not a thing. That's not what Sauron looks like. But um, I could definitely build this. We could definitely do this. This is like
Okay.
what I was literally playing Grixis Reanimator Brawl today. I'm 100% down for this.
And you said
Unless you're worried
four.
this is too much in my wheelhouse.
Oh no,
Maybe
I'm
I
not
should
worried about
work
that
on the
as
next
well.
one.
I think this has a bit more of an opening on what you can do with it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you said 14/14 worth of power, but it could be so much more because you're also returning a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield for all of
Oh,
that.
you're right.
So yeah, we could go with that
Dog, this
one.
is so much value.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And wait, and this is selling for like 20 cents? Dog, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a
Or
good
$1 or
card,
whatever.
but
Yeah.
it's not the good Sauron.
No. Yeah, the 5 mana Sauron is definitely the more consistent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go and
Yeah,
spin
I'm not
some
mad at it.
wheels then. So for
Yeah, let's
these
spin them wheels.
wheels, it's either no budget or a budget going from $50 to $200 in $25 increments. And
Sick.
it's bracket 1 through 5. And I do have it weighted, so bracket 3 is the one that will most likely show up.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah.
let's go and see the budget first, and we'll
All right.
get that
I
spinning
mean, you
right
know me,
away.
my budget. I'm happy to work within a budget. 150. That's okay.
150 in
150
bracket
bracket
3.
Dog, that's a sweet spot. Let's
Man,
go.
that's sounds like everything you want.
That's me. That's how I was gonna build it anyway. Yeah, perfect. All right, sick. So first thing, Fleam.
Just so I remember all of this.
This is a Norman Osborn. Okay, Sauron Lord of the Rings. Yeah, bracket 3, 150.
Oh,
All right, sick.
I have to change the because the last deck I built was yeah, Sauron Love. Wow, I can't type today. There we
All
go.
good.
Create. And
All
you
right, sick.
and you want to go and build Leam.
We don't necessarily. It'd be
Well,
Norman Osborn. We don't necessarily need to do that. So here's the. Although actually, you know what? We don't. Let's not even worry
I
about
was
that
like, no,
because.
that would take $4 of your budget too.
Oh, never mind. Yeah,
Well,
that'd be silly.
and actually,
So
before we add any cards, just so we have an idea, what is your how did you go and get started in Magic? What set did you start with? How long have you been
Sure.
playing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started playing Magical Gatherings back in 2003, I believe it was. The most
My
recent
back.
set that had released when I got in was Scourge. So the Onslaught block. One of the things that I actually really like about going back to Lorwyn is the emphasis on typal strategies, because back then that's like everything. Every deck we played was a creature type matters. It was all elves, goblins, clerics. Man, my buddy James had a cleric deck that was absolutely nasty back then. I bet if I looked at it now, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cute." But like at the time, given what we were working with, it was really impressive. And I was the a-hole who figured out a lot of the different rules interactions, especially as it relates to like damage going on the stack. So whenever you hear somebody say, "Oh man, I missed damage on the stack," I need you to know that that person is an angle shooting griefer. And the reason that I know that is because, hi, that's me. That was the thing I was doing back in the day. It should have been cheating, and now it is, which is good. The game is better as a result. It was not fair at all. I played a lot of like stuff with Nantuko Huss and Umezawa's Jite, and like, okay, after the damage goes on the stack, I'm gonna sacrifice these things to do all this. It was not fair and not fun to the people I was playing against, but I had a blast. And I just absolutely fell in love with it. It started just because a friend of mine who I was on the swim team with, my buddy James, just said, "Hey, nerd, shut up, get in the car. I'm gonna go get you some cards. You're gonna love this." And I just spent the rest of that afternoon, like literally, I think on his like on the carpet of his bedroom, just playing back and forth. And there was an early deck in those first few months, a deck that I put together that used Dark Rituals. I had 4 of those because we were doing janky, like legacy band list, like cards we owned, right? And so I had access to Dark Ritual and Patriarch's Bidding. And at that time, Legend was a creature type. The legendary super type didn't exist yet. That came shortly after when I started. Um, and there was one game where I actually executed a Patriarch's Bidding on turn 2 and got a Spirit of the Night, Rorik's Bladewing, and a Chroma Angel of Wrath onto the battlefield, swinging in the air for 18 damage, literally on turn 2 on the play. It was the craziest nut draw I've ever had. It was turn 1 Dark Ritual Buried Alive, turn 2 Dark Ritual into Dark Ritual Patriarch's Bidding, naming legends. Like magical Christmas
Monster.
time for sure. And it was just I am. And that was the day when I fell in love with Reanimator. I was like, "Oh, this is what you can do when you're using the graveyard to cheat? Great." And then, when I learned about damage on the stack being changed, it's like, well, at least I can still cheat out of my graveyard. It's going to be fine. So this commander speaks to me, like kind of a lot. Like it self mills, it gives you an extra body just cause, and it reanimates at that moment. It's beautiful. Like this is doing all of the things because Reanimator needs a certain sequence. You need to put something in your graveyard, and you need to be able to pull it out. And this can literally do both, which is bonkers. So yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
Here, oh, Darth,
Yeah.
getting OG Chandra. Hell yeah, love it.
You know,
Sorry, continue.
when Planeswalkers are still a novelty, getting OG Chandra.
Right. I miss those days. I want Planeswalkers to be. I'm actually really glad that they're not printing them at the frequency they did. But yeah, anyway.
So, and for the YouTube folks, if you're wondering where this conversation is coming from, we are going and doing this live on my Twitch channel. So,
Oh yes.
you go back and next time I do this, join us.
Please do.
So,
Twitch.tv/Jarvis Moonbeam. Drop follows.
all over
Like
the
and
place.
subscribe.
I want to put this in
Yeah,
full
exactly.
screen. So,
Yeah.
what cards are you looking to add first?
So whenever I am building any kind of Reanimator deck, I want to get an understanding of what is the core gameplay loop. Like, what's the game plan? Because obviously, casting Sauron out for 8, being able to grab something huge from our graveyard, putting it onto the battlefield, and then we also have this Amass Orcs 5. So I kind of like the idea of finding other ways to amass orcs so that we have an army, or even just using the amass zombies from like War of the Spark. Like those kinds of effects, if we can get good value off of them, would be kind of nice. So
You can just look up a
like,
mass.
so that's, yeah, we can. Like Lazotep Plating comes to mind as a card that I think a ton of people are sleeping on and is actually not bad. It's a 2-drop that gives all your permanents hexproof and amasses 1.
So that's a
Um,
card that I don't think enough people play either.
Right?
The person that I see actually play it the most is actually Josh Lee Kwai.
Oh, sick. I'm
Because,
glad that he understands it because I think it's quite good. Yeah.
but yeah, it's mass 1. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn.
It's so effective. Back when I played a bunch of Mutate, that thing was critical. So as far as other like amass cards go, like Enter the God Eternals is like fine but kind of expensive. You have things like Aven Eternal, which is again fine but kind of expensive. Angrath, Captain of Chaos, is interesting, but I don't think necessarily, worth the price of admission. I guess we can rock Barad Dur. That's not bad. And adding a land.
Getting your lands in there early.
It's an inexpensive land, so that's fine. Dreadhorde Invasion, if we're looking for a mass, is also just an okay card. Like, it's not great. it's bad Skitter Blossom or not Skitter Blossom, Bitter Blossom. It's a bad Bitter
Yes.
Blossom.
I knew
So
what you meant.
I'm thinking, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So Ham calls Skrulf's hive Skitter Blossom.
I do, yes.
So that's why I was able
And
to go.
there's a word that I use for Dreadhorde Invasion that what's the language requirement or language restriction on this channel?
I
What's the rating?
I don't have a language restriction.
Okay, all right, but even I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to break the seal. Anyway, there's another S word that I use in reference to Dreadhorde Invasion. It's not good, but it does what we want it to do in this case. So sure, and it's also cheap. We are working on a budget, so I think that'll
Yeah.
be fine. Also, anything like this that produces tokens opens up a lot of other reanimation avenues. Like anything that requires a sacrifice, all of a sudden becomes a lot easier to pull off. So I think that could be valuable.
And I'm just gonna
Um,
keep scrolling through until
yeah.
you tell me once you see.
I think Eternal Skylord is actually one that I know I've run a lot in Hashaton. So it's a 3/3 for 5, and when it enters, you amass you amass zombies too, but zombie tokens you control have flying. And when you amass zombies, if you've already amassed orcs, the army that you have becomes a zombie in addition to an orc. Like I believe
Yep.
you just add the type to it. And so if we have a big orc army and we throw that down, or Sauron Lord of the Rings pulls this out of our graveyard when it comes down, if this is what we reanimate, all of a sudden that army that we have not only got 5 more, but now it also flies. So I think that's actually pretty decent value, and it's 7 cents, so that's negligible as far as our budget's concerned. So
And that's exactly what
yay, love
happens.
that. Right? It's sick. It's a good time. I'm a big fan.
Uh,
You
and
can
of
make
course,
zombie sliver or chords. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
and Darth is
And
of
Darth
course.
Victimize was exactly the card I was thinking. Victimize and Blood for Bones are 2 cards that reanimate that require you to sacrifice a thing, and those could be quite good depending on what else we do. All right. Yeah. As far as the mask goes, I don't know that we necessarily need any more.
So where's
Although Lazotep Chancellor isn't bad. Because the other thing about reanimation that we need to be aware of is how do we win? Because a lot of the times you can just put like Villis and Razakath and Toxrill in the graveyard with a bunch of like 1 and 2 mana reanimates and just assume it's going to be fine. But like that kind of value doesn't always win commander games, as we've all seen. So I definitely want to have a more firm plan than that. Just big value isn't enough these days. So I would like to have some kind of combo or some kind of like engine that doesn't just give us stats, but also like really punishes our opponents for trying to
and
keep up.
and you
You know?
kind of need that with the fact that this is bracket 3. So do you want the Lazatap Chancellor?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
discard a card. You may pay 1. If you do, you amass 2.
I don't know how much you're going to be discarding.
That's actually
Yeah,
no. I don't know. Yeah, are we going to be milling or are we going to be discarding?
exactly. And you're
I'm
probably going to
thinking
be milling.
we're going to be milling more often than not, and as a result, too, like a lot of descent cards could be worth considering as well.
Yes. And
Yeah.
speaking of the brackets, so when you're a bracket 3 deck, for everyone that's wondering, you have a focused game plan that I think it's now that you're trying to win as early as turn 6 or 7, between turn 6 and 8.
That sounds
There
right.
is the game changer that if you add a game changer to the deck, it automatically becomes a bracket 3 deck. But it really is about having a focused game plan that is trying to win by between turns 6 and 8. And you could play a extra turn, but you're not chaining extra turns. You don't play 2-card combos, but you could play combos. So yeah, those are pretty much the hallmarks of being a bracket 3 deck.
Right. Another one that actually I do think would be worth including, believe it or not, is Lazotep Reaver. That is a card that is, again, basically free as far as our budget is concerned. And it's 2 bodies for 1 card and 2 mana.
Yes.
And that's it. And it gets our zombies started. Like, great. Like it does the thing. That's exactly what we needed to do. So I feel like it's not a great card by any means, but if we have like sack and draw effects or a sack to reanimate effects, any kind of sacrifice effect, that card is just good. Getting 2 bodies is worth it.
And you're obviously
All
not
right, how much
putting.
is Yeah, I was about to say, how much is Orcish Bowmasters? Yeah,
It's
because
actually
that's.
down a little bit. It's down to being like
Not bad.
$34.
But so with the consideration of budget, I think Orcish Bowmasters is still a hard pass.
Oh, of course.
Um, yeah, and I just want to call it out because like I think a lot of people when they're building commander decks look at cards like that and be like, well, it's like $36. It must be the best, right? So like if it does the thing we want it to do, and yes, it is, no question. I just said Lazotep Reaver 2 mana for an amass 1 is worth it. Orcish Bowmasters is that with a ton of additional upside. So yes, Bowmasters is better, but is it $36 better? Like is it a fifth of our budget better? No, not at all. In this deck, that is not a core element of our game plan. Plus, that price is really high because that's playable in like modern, and other like 1v1 competitive formats. The amount of in-game value we're getting does not justify that kind of price tag for what we're trying to do here. I just want to make that abundantly
And
clear.
Darth, Fiery
Yep.
Bombardment, well, it's a good card. It's not a good card in a Grixis deck because
Yeah.
you're in a 3-color deck, so you're not going to get that many red mana symbols in the casting cost of the creatures.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
Now we are in the Saruman and Sauron section,
Yep.
so the good Sauron is $7.
Yeah. Sauron the Dark Lord, $7. I mean, I feel like that's probably worth it, and definitely a flavor win if nothing else.
Yeah, and when we go back to the screen, I'll make sure that everything's on the cheapest version as
Yeah,
well.
cheapest printing. Okay. I was about to say, just don't get that foil. We're fine. Yeah. Yeah, Sauron the Dark Lord I think is a worthwhile pickup. It amasses and
Yeah,
it's a good value creature. Oh, and I
with
thought it was a 5/6. My bad.
yeah, and with the white hand, I don't think I don't know. I shouldn't say I don't think. I don't know how many non-creature spells you'll be casting for that to make sense.
For the way I like to build, I mean, if we're gonna be reanimating based on milling, I want a critical massive creature. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of agree. Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna be triggering that very often.
The Mouth of Sauron does what you want. It mills. Because it's a
Okay.
target player mills, and then but yet again, it's then you amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, we won't have. Yeah, I mean that might be genuinely 0 sometimes. So yeah,
Yep.
no, I'm gonna. Yeah, I think that's and for 5, that's not what we're looking for. That said, surrounded by orcs, I don't think it's necessarily good. I have fond memories of trying to build historic decks with this though. So it's a sorcery for 4. You amass orcs 3, and then target player mills X cards, where X is the amassed army's power. Um, if we want to mill, like 4 is a lot, unfortunately. So it's expensive. What I was trying to do in historic is like return this from my graveyard to my hand or like flash it back with different effects to try to like amass like crazy. Or like I think I had some kind of storm enabler, so when I cast it once, it would like stack 3 times and like and just grow exponentially. So it's a fun idea, but that was jank. It was really quite
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, fun thought though. But yeah, so no, I think we can pass on that.
And then the only other one that I would well, I got Warg Rider. No, that's too. I think that's kind of expensive, even though it does amass every turn. The only other one that I always liked was Widespread Brutality.
Yeah, Warg Rider is pretty cool, but yeah, agreed. For the budget. If it was no budget, we'd absolutely throw that in. But
Oh, I didn't even realize it was $14.
Right? Yeah.
When I
Oh
said
no,
it
you meant
expensive,
like the 5
it
mana
was
was
5
expensive.
mana. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 5 mana dies to Lightning Bolt, like that is not ideal. But yeah, but no, the $14 is. Widespread Brutality for 4 amass 2. Then the army you amassed deals damage equal to its power to each non-army creature.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, so for 4, 2 damage to everything is not bad, but hopefully it'll be more than that.
Yeah.
And the one thing we do need to be aware of is, our our commander is a 9/9, but it amassing 5 means that Widespread Brutality might still kill it sometimes.
Yes.
Which would be a good problem to have. So yeah, I think we absolutely get that in there.
Okay. So that was our mass. 8 cards
That's
down.
our mass. So yeah, at 8 amass, we still have the mass in the command zone as well. Heck yeah, let's go. So what are our reanimation targets? Because I think that's going to be the biggest chunk of our Like the biggest chunk of our budget that we need to be concerned about.
Let me do this.
Um,
Spell.
yeah. So
Okay.
Grixis commanders. I'm doing. I've got Scryfall open as well. Um,
So we've kind of gotten
yeah.
a little bit of a feeling for it, but what would you say is your deck building style and deck building philosophy?
Yeah, so when it comes to deck building, I want to make sure that I create a plan. I kind of think of a deck as like a playbook, and my goal is to figure out what is the game plan that I want to execute going into each encounter and be able to have the tools that I need in order to execute on that game plan, whatever it may be. And, right now, as we're building this deck, I'm still not 100% sure what the win con is, and we need to get there. With other reanimation decks, I love kind of thinking, and also I just love graveyard nonsense. I love it so much. I'm of the opinion that the graveyard is such an easily abusable resource that if you don't use it in some capacity, you're leaving money on the table. And I don't love that. Don't get me wrong. I have some decks that don't use it, but the vast majority of them do. I also love finding just weird lines to do things that are unexpected. That's one of my favorite things. I love surprising people with different game plans. And like those moments where I get my opponent to go like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what does that do again? Like, I love that stuff. Those are the moments I absolutely live for as a Magic player. um and I also, when it comes to Commander specifically, my goal with every deck is to be able to create a certain game plan and a certain dynamic, a certain element to the pod, with an understanding of like what role I'm going to play in any given encounter, right? And I often prioritize the joy of the players around me over my chances of winning. And that's what, like, we talked about group hug elements earlier, and I'm a firm believer that Magic is a game and we really ought to be enjoying it. And I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to be able to enjoy my gameplay, but I want to watch you enjoy yours. And for the record, that includes like one-on-one competitive Magic as well. And that's like at MagicCon Atlanta, I brought some standard decks and was playing a lot of standard with folks. And like I had a couple best of 3 rounds against, a gentleman who was playing a mono red deck. It was the most basic mono red screaming nemesis pile you've ever seen, because he was, participating in some of the tournaments that day and wanted a good chance of winning. But he was a cool dude. We were smiling the whole time. We were like, shaking hands, high five, and just having a blast. And even though here we are playing like relatively straightforward. I mean, I was on a goofy Insidious Roots pile, so I wasn't exactly playing meta, but he was, and it didn't change our enjoyment because we were able to connect over the game. And even though we were playing this competitive format with plays that weren't super unique, it was a bonding experience, and we still had a great time. And I lost a good portion of those games, but I had a blast even losing, because I got to, have a fun human moment with another person, which is part of the reason that I struggle with one-on-one in arena sometimes, because you lose that human element, and I really value that. It's worth a ton.
Oh,
So
definitely.
yeah. And so I love bad cards because, and like I'm the guy with the Howling Mine. I love Howling Mine. I want everybody to be drawing cards. I want you to get
I
into the
don't.
game, and I want to watch you pop off and have fun. I love it. So yeah. Yeah, Jarvis, I know how much you love that, because you're over here like properly managing resources and trying to manage your opponent's resources, and I'm just
Yes.
like, cards for everybody, sacrifice veteran explorer, everybody go get 2 lands. Like, yeah, I love it.
You just want to throw it
But
all out.
so yeah, exactly. So to that end, let's make sure to add Sizan, Perverter of Truth.
I tried to play Scion for a little bit in Conrad because
Yep.
of it having the card draw punishment attached to it as well.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then I'm like, no, I can't do it.
That's so funny. I love it. Oh, okay. So with this deck, I feel like we need to accept that we're the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just really important. And that sounds, I mean, obvious, it's freaking Sauron. Of course, we're the villain. But it's an 8-drop that is going to, if it sticks, create a huge amount of value just by itself. And so, knowing that, I feel like we kind of need to approach this similar to like the way that you would build like a Gishath or something, where like people are going to be gunning for you pretty much immediately, and so we need to be aware that we're going to be the villain, and act accordingly. So I think next we should probably focus on the ramp package.
Okay.
Because we definitely need a lot of it. With an 8-drop commander, we need as much of that as we can get our hands on.
So I'm assuming you want the greatest hits.
I mean, yeah. So like Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, of course. Yep.
I should probably go and make a package just to add one time for it, because you know how you can just go and like make like predefined packages on Moxfield, and I should do that.
Yeah. I think just the hits. Just play the hits. Yeah, just those ones. You know the ones. Yeah.
Yes. Commander Sphere.
I'm sorry?
Commander Sphere?
Commander Sphere?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Commander Sphere is one of those where if you're not a big fan, I'm not going to fight you on it, but I think it's pretty solid. I also really like Chromatic Lantern. I think that could be good here, especially because we're going to have a budget mana base. So,
See, for me, it's always like Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Commander Sphere, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone.
Yeah, okay, I'm good with those.
Are my they're my auto includes.
Yeah, those are the go-tos.
And I will not fight you on guild signets because of it being a budget. Otherwise, I will not. Otherwise, I would fight you in a heartbeat on the signets because I hate them so much.
See, I love them. It's so funny. I hate the filter lands that behave like signets, but I love the signets. I don't know why. But yeah, so your Rakdos signet, your Dimir signet, and the is it signet? Yeah, I think all three of them could fit in here quite easily. 2 mana rocks, man. Just 2 mana rocks that can help fix mana. That's the stuff we need. Because
I think I love the talismans, but I think the talismans, well, they could fit into your budget. I think like a lot of the talismans are $1 plus now.
Right. The talismans are quite nice.
Yeah, they're all like, over $1. Yeah. And do you want to spend your budget on big sexy creatures or responsible mana rocks when a quarter mana rock that's a quarter does the same thing?
I mean, how many of these do we need?
Yeah.
I think that's the question. So we can table that. Like, well, let's table the talismans. Let's put the guild signets in for now. And we might come back to those if we've got money to spare near the end. Then perhaps. All right.
Now, speaking of this being bracket 3 and us being in artifacts, one of my favorites is actually inexpensive and it's a game changer.
What? Which one's that?
Bolsa Citadel.
I'm not thinking Bolsa Citadel. I would rather we not have Bolsa Citadel specifically because I want our creatures to be so damn expensive, and I really don't feel like taking 8 to the face to play a dude down.
Oh, that brings me joy.
What?
Taking 8 to the face off of Bolsa Citadel.
I'm not here to kink shame or anything. Like, teach their own.
If I'm not almost dying getting to a win, am I really living?
I'm actually not going to fight you on that. Yep. fair enough. All right.
But speaking of another card, we are talking ramp, and I had to throw Bolsa Citadel out there. Never mind.
It's a worthy thought.
I was going to say Jessica's Will because that's $37. I didn't realize it went up that much.
I mean, Jessica's Will is a card that is absolutely fantastic, which is why it's so expensive.
Oh yeah,
it's designed to be the best in class. That thing should be a 5-drop, and it's a 3-drop. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm of the opinion that we just don't need it. I don't play Jessica's Will in any of my decks. I literally opened one and sold it because I don't like playing with that card because it's so much better than anything else you could possibly be doing. And I don't know,
but I think red.
I'm just a hipster. That's all.
I'm of the red needs it.
I've got multiple mono red decks, and I don't. I feel like you can live without it. Yeah.
Ramping is where red struggles.
To a point.
But so
To a point. Well, we do have what's the there's the 5-drop ritual. I think it's escaping me right now.
mono red or
It's a mono red
or
ritual that creates red mana for each tapped land your
mana
opponents
geyser.
control. Mana geyser, that's the one. Yeah. How much is that going for right now?
$1.73.
Like $1.70, get that in there. Let's go. We got an 8-drop commander. We need that. Boom. You'll love to see it. Okay.
So we are building a deck that has a kind of has a creature sub theme. Creature type sub theme in the orcs and amassing orcs. What's your favorite creature type?
Ooh, favorite creature type. I'm a big sucker for creature types that are like underappreciated. You know, so like I have a soft spot for like Lurgoyf because it's just goofy and it's uniquely magic. I also I do not play slivers. I hate playing against and with slivers, but I do love that they exist. You know, like when the crystalline sliver became available on Arena, it was a shut up, take my money kind of moment. Like I needed that pet. So so there's that. But when it comes to like typal strategies, if I'm gonna build a deck around a creature type, I love birds. I really enjoy like the Azorius Flyer archetype. It's just straightforward, it's simple, it's effective, it does the thing. And a bird deck was a nostalgic little trip for me. With like Soul Catcher's Airy and that stuff. So I really enjoy that. That said, when I'm building Reanimator, if I want a typal strategy, there are a lot of creature types that are worth reanimating. There are some gigantic vampires, there are a number of really dope dragons, there's your Leviathan package and like big sea creatures, that's a whole thing. But if I'm reanimating stuff, I definitely go demons. I really enjoy leaning on demons if I'm working my graveyard. I think like Villis, Razakath, like Gristlebrand was the like staple. You know, just it was the poster child for Reanimator for so long. That I kind of love that. So
Okay.
yeah, that'd definitely be my go-to.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And Ham's bird deck is mean.
It's lovely. I'm a big fan.
You
But
know,
yeah,
swings at me with flyers.
I do. I just want to get you with flyers. It's really fun. I love watching. I love watching decks. That have these gigantic ground forces. Like I love watching the elf deck. Realize like, oh, I've got like 100 power. It's like, sure, but can you block 12 in the air? Like, no. Like, yeah, that's what I thought. Awesome. It's so much fun.
So and
Yeah, I dig it.
Darth did put Sotswill in chat, and then also did mention Pyretic Ritual, but I don't think the Pyretic Ritual is what we really want here.
Yeah, I think spending 2 mana for going down a card to get like 1 or 2 more mana probably isn't what we're looking for. But I appreciate the thought. Like that definitely feels more like a Storm Spellslinger kind of thing, and that's not what we're feeling. Saz's or Sotswill?
Yeah. It actually exiles graveyards, but your opponent's graveyards.
Okay, but boo.
Come on, Moxfield. Why are you being silly today?
Yeah, Sotswill for 5. Choose one. If you control a commander to cast a spell, you may choose both. Each opponent sacrifices a creature they control with the greatest power or exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. Then create X01 Thrall creature tokens where X is the greatest power among creature cards exiled this way.
Yeah.
So, do we want to have a sacrifice sub-theme? I don't necessarily. I feel like having a couple of sacrifice cards is good, but I definitely don't want like a full Aristocrats package. So I don't think the value of the Thralls is worth it. If we wanted to go something like this, if I'm worried about opponents' graveyards, I would prefer Espers to Magicite.
Oh, Espers to Magicite is a good card.
Yeah, it really is. And what's its going rate these days?
Because
it was hyped for a minute there, but I think it's chilled out a little bit.
The problem, like, Moxfield is dragging today. There we go. 22 cents.
Yeah.
And
22 cents.
I don't think this was ever actually hyped. I think Jolly and I loved it so much that it might have felt that way. But I think it was always cheap.
There was one day where Blue Sky, like when I scrolled through through Blue Sky, it was all I saw. People were talking about it. It wasn't just you guys. You guys were some of that, but not all of it. Yeah, there were a number of other creators who were hyped on that card. So that's wild. 22 cents. Yeah, get that in there. So Esper's Magicite, if you're not familiar, it's an instant for 4. You exile each opponent's graveyard, and then when you do, you choose up to 1 creature card exiled this way, and you just get to make a token of it that's an artifact instead of a creature. So, like, whatever that dope effect was that your opponent rocked, you just have it now, and all the reanimation that they wanted to do is just gone. And like, oh, they care about like delirium. Not too bad. That sucks. Oh, like, oh, you like this spell that's about to resolve cares about whether you have threshold or not. About that. Like, it's so nasty. It's yeah. Yep, it's mean.
It is, but it's great.
Yes, it's great.
So,
Yep.
where do you want to focus now when it comes to your deck building? Do you want to go and start looking at big dumbs, or did you want to go and stick with one of the other, like, eating your vegetables, as in like card draw and removal?
Let's look at some big dubs.
Okay.
Let's get stupid. So, we definitely need we need the powerhouse monsters. Like, so I think when it comes down to it, are we trying? I mean, we have access to red, so we could add haste enablers and go like try to create a kind of OTK scenario. That's fun, potentially. We could. Well, is that? Yeah, so we'd be still going for value. If we're focusing on the mill plan, we could definitely do like the living death kind of situation. Oh, wait, how much is this going for? I'm looking through some cards and I'm curious. Okay. Maybe this is crazy and stupid and crazy. Actually, this probably won't work without access to white, but I'm thinking it, so let's throw it out there. Wormfang Manta is a card that's going for 50 cents and was one of the premier janky BS cards back in the day. And I think nowadays it could be even gnarlier. Yeah, Wormfang Manta.
There we go.
It's a nightmare beast. It's a 6/1 for 7 with flying. And when it enters, you skip your next turn. But when it leaves, you take an extra turn. So if you have a torpor orb down so that so ETBs don't trigger, you could blink this and take infinite turns. Now, I know we don't want a torpor orb because our commander has a strong ETB that we want to take advantage of, but like, I just want to put this out there, like, Conjurer's Closet Wormfang Manta with a torpor orb, or like a Strict Proctor or something, like, that feels very easy to pull off.
Yeah, the reason why you might have seen my face is like, this card's so bad.
It's so bad, but I love it so much.
I don't think it makes sense for this deck.
Not for this deck. But like the tech there, I feel like an Esper reanimator with this would be amazing. So you talk about wanting to take 8 in the face off of Bolas' Citadel. I want to take 7 in the face after reanimating this. That's what I want to do. So that's my style. So anyway, no, it doesn't fit this deck, but I did see that it's only 50 cents nowadays, despite being a rare from Judgment that has never been reprinted. Y'all are sleeping on this nonsense.
There's a reason it's never been reprinted.
Because it's too good. People can't handle it.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Excellent. So, I've actually been looking at like budget big dumbs that could actually like create kind of a lot of potential power. And one card that is apparently going for like 10 cents that doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Junkwinder. So we're doing the amass thing. I don't know how many other tokens we're going to have, so I don't know if this is a great fit for this deck either, but I really want to call this thing out. It's apparently selling for like 10 cents.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Junkwinder is a 5/6 for 7 with affinity for tokens. So that's a 5/6 for 2 in a lot of decks. And whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, you tap target non-land permanent and an opponent controls, and it doesn't untap on their next untap step. So you're tapping and stunning. You know how easy it is to poop out a ton of tokens? Because you'll notice this also doesn't trigger once per turn. Like,
yeah, I used to, when I still had my Sultai tokens and card draw deck, this was a powerhouse in that deck.
I don't doubt it. It's bonkers. So, like, if we wanted to add like a treasure ramp package, something like this could be insane. You know,
Well,
like, yeah.
and think about treasures and ramp. You do have the unexpected windfalls and the big scores that you go and get
Yep,
your card draw.
absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
one of them has gotten to be a couple. No, big score is 77 cents.
77 cents?
Yeah.
Last I checked, that was like $2. That shows you last time I was paying attention.
Unexpected windfalls $2.
What?
It's 2.15. Please tell me that's not actually the cheapest version.
I'm really surprised because Big Score is
It,
strictly better by a lot. It looks like it is.
it is actually the cheapest version. Oh,
Why? What is? I'm seeing a ton of reprints of it too. Like, I'm very confused.
has Big Score got? Big Score's gotten some reprints as well. Maybe it's the
Yeah, it
kind
looks
of
like they have a
reprints.
comparable number of reprints.
I will never
This is
understand
very
Magic
silly.
players. Oh, hey Benji, how you doing?
Hey Benji, what up? The biggest of scores, indeed, in the house. Hello, hello. Also, Squirrel, good evening. How we doing?
Azula doesn't necessarily make sense here because we're trying not to go and have an amass of instant spells, and we really don't have any flash creatures at this point. That being said, if Ham loves
Right.
Azula, we could put Azula in. I just don't think it makes sense for this style deck.
I like Azula quite a bit, actually, but I don't want to prioritize attack triggers necessarily. And I feel like, or like instant speed stuff to take advantage of firebending. I feel like we would have to jump through a lot of hoops to support Azula. So it just feels like a different deck. But
Oh,
I do like the card.
yeah, but Jareth, the reason we're not,
Azula is the reason the price has increased. Got it.
but Unexpected Windfall is better.
Yeah, like, or Big Score is significantly better than Unexpected
Yeah,
Windfall.
Big Score's
but
better.
Unexpected Windfall has a massive price hike, and Big Score
Yeah.
didn't. I'm just.
Because neither of them are
wondering if they-
standard. Neither of them are standard legal right now because I'd be playing them.
No. Right.
Because they're both
Yeah,
4 mana. It's Big Score's 1 red instead of 2.
I'm guessing Big Score must have been in a precon that sold like crazy or something. Like the supply
Yeah.
must be just significantly higher on it. Yeah,
Could be.
because that's wild.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Benji, just to let you know, what we're doing is we're building a Sauron Lord of the Rings, $150 budget, bracket 3 deck.
Where's my sweet spot? I feel at home. Yeah. We could get Seize the Spoils up in here.
Seize the Spoils.
That one's pretty decent. All right.
My wheels are not nearly as much fun as yours, Benji.
Okay. So when it comes to our big dumb threats, so we have things that are discarding. We have some ramp. We've got, we even have our amass package to help kind of support that side of things, which I appreciate. I think that's good. The first big dumb that I think of in any Reanimator deck that has access to Dimir is Toxrill the Corrosive. Because that card is just heinous. It's awful. It's evil. Don't be that guy, but I kind of want to be that guy.
It is $15.
It's $15. That's pretty significant,
What
unfortunately.
What I will say is, so far your budget has been, like, you're at 24 cards and it's $24, and we don't even have basic lands in there yet.
Right.
So you do still have room for like a big expense, but
yeah. So, but you know what? Well, let's table that. We can come back to Toxrill if we have the money. One that I know is going to fit within our budget that I'm going to insist on is Villis, Broker of Blood. It's Gristlebrand at home, but it turns out like Kirkland brand, Gristlebrand is still pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in this card.
$6.93.
Perfect. Worth it. Yeah.
See, when you were saying that, I thought you were going to go and say Atali.
Well, we don't have access to Atali Primal Conqueror, unfortunately.
But that wouldn't fit in your budget anyway.
It'd be like $20. Atali Primal Storm is dope and would easily fit in the budget. It does need to attack though.
It does.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We should see what our actual budget is once we get the lands down. Yeah, you're not wrong.
You don't save your lands for last, Benji?
I always say my lands for last.
Me too.
But I also usually just build with whatever cards I have lying around, so I don't really worry about budget. And then I type it into Moxfield later and go like, wait, this was $200? No way. Or more often like this was $80? Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, but in a budget brew, yeah, no, Benji, you're right. Yeah, that is correct. We should. Oh. Damn. Actually, never mind. I was thinking of some other like there are a number of other budget cards out there that could work as far as reanimation targets go. Um, one card that I'm curious your thoughts on, Jarvis. I don't think it's I don't think it's great, but it's practically free, and I think it's appropriate, but it could be impactful. Pursued Whale. It's the top-down Moby Dick design. It's an 8/8 for 7. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate with this creature can't block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. And suppose your opponents cast a target pursued whale costs 3 more to cast. So it forces your opponents to just be swinging constantly or sack their pirate somehow, and you just have an 8/8.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this card. It is...
Right?
It's not what you would call good, but...
No.
It is a big dumb that is budget friendly.
It is a big dumb that's budget friendly. So the other thing that we could do when it comes to our kind of our game plan, like at the end of the day, how do we want to win? I think maybe finding dirt cheap creatures that have gigantic stupid stats and flinging them might be a fun, and then looping them out of the graveyard with other reanimation spells after the fact might be a way to go. Because like Calicel Sword, Fling, a Thud, like all those cards are dirt freaking cheap, and ways to generate just a big hit quickly.
Yeah, Calicel Sword, yeah, is 17 cents.
Yep, and still legal in standard. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want Fling and Thud?
I mean, I think so, right? Like looking at the Pursued Whale, like the fact that Sauron can just grab an 8/8 and put it on the battlefield, like the ability to just chuck that at somebody's could be fun, right?
I definitely need to join you on a Monday night stream, Benji. It's timing. We'll make it work sometime.
Dude, Benji, I would love to. Yeah. No, if I can find one when I'm available. Hell yeah. Let's make it happen. How about Kefka Dancing Mad? This is a card that is dirt cheap. It was in a recent precon, and I think the only reason it's cheap is because people who run decks like this don't know it exists. So it's a 6/6 for 7. During your turn, it's indestructible, and at the beginning of your end step, you exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard, and you may cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana cost. Then each player who owns a spell you cast this way loses life equal to its mana value.
Okay.
Value. It's just big dumb value, and it's 50 cents. What? Anyway. Yeah. It's very silly, very fun. Another reanimation target that is also dirt cheap, and I don't know why. That I don't know if it fits with what we're doing necessarily, but Scholar of the Lost Trove is one that could be absolutely bonkers. Now, if we're gonna put that in here, we need more instants and sorceries. Although our like sorcery, discard and ramp spells and the fling effects and whatnot, those fit the bill. But if we have other like reanimation effects in here, yeah, Scholar of Lost Trove is a Sphinx. It's a 5/5 for 7 with flying. And when it enters, you may cast target instant sorcery or artifact from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. And if an instant or sorcery spell was cast this way and would go into your graveyard, you exile it instead. So it freely flashes back something. So if you hit like a Breach the Multiverse with this, you just fire it off again and go nuts. It's the potential there is pretty darn sweet, if you ask me. So I think that card is very powerful, and it's going for like a quarter.
So you mentioned a card that I was holding on to until we got later on after we were done with the big dumps. I wanted to see how expensive Breach was. I
Yeah,
think it has climbed more than I wanted it to, though.
probably. When I
Moxio,
think
can
of
you speed
cards,
up?
when I think of cards that I genuinely like have like weird feelings towards, Breach the Multiverse when March of the Machine came out was one of those cards that it was selling for 50 cents for a minute there. And I thought, y'all are crazy. This card is bonkers, go nuts, and fantastic. It's amazing. And I was on stream like every day, being like, you guys need to be playing this card. It's amazing. And I was building standard decks with it and having a great time. And I absolutely adore that card. And I didn't buy 50 copies when it was 50 cents, and I should have.
Because
Uh,
now it's
and it, like,
$6.28.
I didn't trust my gut. I bought like two and was like, great, I'm good. And like, it's, yeah, it's a shame.
So do you want to breach the multiverses?
Dude, I love breaching the multiverse. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
been
breach the multiverse. Let's get it in there.
we have been talking about Milla as well, and while it's not a big dumb, it is a dumb.
Yeah.
Uh, Conrad.
Yeah. Conrad's great. Yeah, just do it. And also way too cheap.
Well,
Like,
it's got a lot of reprints.
sure, but even so, like Soul Ring's got a lot of reprints, but it's still like $1.50 or whatever. Granted, that's not a fair comparison, but 40 cents, like Sir Conrad should be $1.50. Like,
Yeah, there was a time that the Throne of Eldraine one was above $1, and then they started putting it in like every single Commander precon.
yeah,
Like,
Goldbeds is listed at 40 cents. That's actually
yeah,
the cheapest one.
yep.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, my version's $52.
Nice. I also love Living Death.
Living Death.
I think it's one of the best board wipes in the format. And if we're running like Espers to Magicite and all that, and just a ton of big dumbs, yeah, it's
And
just great. Also, yeah, Benji's saying Temper with Mayhem or Random Encounter. Random Encounter is so dumb. I love it.
Tempt with Mayhem is 23 cents. Uh,
Okay.
it has a tempting offer. Choose instant or sorcery spell. Each opponent may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy they control. You copy that spell once plus an additional time for each opponent who copied the spell this way. You may choose new targets for the copies you control.
Huh. I'm not mad at that.
And random encounter.
Is like,
What's it?
it's one of those where I think Moxfield will probably list it at like 30 cents or whatever, but the actual price for it, the actual price that a random encounter would cost you is oh hey, can I take this random encounter? Like that's all you got to do really, probably, to get your hands on one. Like clean up after,
4
after a draft
cents.
night. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, so that's shuffle your library, then mill 4 cards, put each creature card milled this way onto the battlefield. They gain haste at the beginning of the next end step. Return those creatures to their owner's hand.
Yep. You'll love to see it. Right.
Yeah. So another question I always like to ask. We got to know a little
Yeah.
bit about Magic with you. What are your other hobbies outside of Magic the Gathering?
There's stuff outside Magic the Gathering?
I know there is a life outside of Magic.
Like since when? No, so okay, I joke, I jest a bit because I have actually been like live streaming Magic as my full-time job for a couple of years now, and it's been pretty like relatively all-consuming. That said, I have been doing a lot more recently, like this past year, with actually a local theater group, and it's been just insanely fun. So getting back out on stage, and I've acted in one show. It was so much fun. It was a comedic like parody musical based on like Lifetime original movies. It was ridiculous and available on YouTube right now. A Stranger in My Breakfast Nook on the Neighborhood Theater Group's YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's ridiculous and very fun. Um, yeah, and Charlie, thank you. I appreciate that. So that was a ton of fun. And actually, it's funny because just being involved and getting to meet people and like it was at a time like getting involved in that was at a time when I like wasn't really leaving the house much, just kind of working from home and just being kind of like just isolated in my own little world. Like getting out and engaged again was a lot of fun, and hanging out with other folks. And to the point where like I'm at everything with this theater group. I'm attending meetings regularly. If they're holding an event, I'm going to be there. And they've I'm raising my hand every time every chance I get, and as a result, the last couple of shows I've actually been involved with like the technical side of things. So I actually stage managed for the first time recently on a very intense, like very prop heavy, like it's like an anthology show there, so there were a ton of like costume changes and stuff. It was gnarly. And it was a ton of fun. It was really challenging, and it was a blast to help put it together. Yeah, and then I've also done lights on some stuff as well. So like I find myself working in the technical side of things because that's the like not fun, not sexy part. And if you're willing to do it, they will let you. So and I'm actually finding it shockingly fulfilling. So it's been a ton of fun. So that's been kind of the big non-magic hobby that I've been fully investing in at the moment, and it's been amazing. It's been really rewarding, and just a ton of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you finally have a reason to put hard pants on.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Like I'm actually putting on pants to like leave the house. It's weird. I mean, not today, but like
Yeah.
just sometimes. And yeah, it's different. Oh. But yeah.
So,
Um
do we
yeah,
want to take Benji's advice and go and work on our mana base?
that's probably a good idea.
He is the premier deck
So,
builder of Twitch.
it's true. Yeah, and I trust Benji's process cuz mine is literally go dig through a bunch of boxes and just see what I come up with. So when it comes to like when all of Magic is available to us and we can just do whatever, I genuinely do kind of struggle. So, yeah, it's not my usual spot.
No one has mentioned Sire Stagnation, Charlie. So,
Not as of yet. Stag Sires, what's up? Let's do this.
come on.
Oh, there's actually there's another budget creature that we're gonna get to after this. Sire Stagnation for 6. Whenever land enters the battlefield under an opponent control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his library, and you draw 2 cards. Bruh. Yes. And it's $1. Let's do that. That's so dumb. I love it. Yeah, Charlie, good shout. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay, and
Yeah, I like it more better than you think. I believe it. Yeah. So Sire of Stagnation is great. That's a really good shout. Another like budget reanimation target that I really enjoy that I play in Hash a ton is Waker of Waves. It's not amazing, but it's pretty decent and way better than people realize.
I'm just laughing because your targets, the most recent ones that you've mentioned, have been 2 whales and a sphinx.
Yeah. Because I like demons. But yeah, so it's a 7/7 for 7. And you can pay 1 and a blue, discard it, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, the other into your graveyard. So like it replaces itself in hand. You cycle it for 2 and mill something with selection over what goes where. And it's a 7/7 that says creatures your opponents control get -1, -0. So if your opponent is going absolutely just banana pancakes with Scoot Swarm, guess what? I don't care. They're all 0/1s. Go crazy.
Until I
And then they
mutate on top of
drop a
it.
coat of arms and make me go, But until then, boy howdy, Waker of Waves does the job. So yeah. But yeah, so oh right, lands.
I'm assuming we want a command tower.
Yes.
That one's not out of our budget yet. And an
Nope.
exotic orchard.
Yeah, that also seems reasonable. And
No.
we're definitely not grabbing a Cavern of Souls.
Nope. Can't do that one.
Which is a shame, but here we are. Yep. I mean the fetch yeah, the fetch lands out of our. How much is Fabled Passage going for?
Fabled Passage, I think is like 4 or 5. 482.
That's... Is Fabled Passage notably better than like an? I mean, it is, but is it worth it over like?
So in my
Evolution Evolving Wilds or something?
experiences, I have not found fetch lands of any kind to really be worth it to me. But in a budget deck, I do not think a Fabled Passage is worth $4.50 more than an
Yeah.
Evolving Wilds.
I'm inclined to agree with the caveat of if we're doing like Crucible of Worlds style or like Ice Still Explorer action,
Yeah.
if or landfall triggers, that's a different story. But we're
Yes.
not. So okay, I'm with you. Yep. Groovy cool.
I wouldn't play Evolving Wilds in general, but this is your deck.
Nah, we don't need to here. That's fine. It's absolutely one of those as I'm digging through my nonsense, if I can't find enough duels to make it work, I absolutely do go with those.
So, and now we need cheap dual lands.
Right.
Or cheap multicolor lands would be a better answer. Thing. What is the Grixis tricolor land that isn't good?
The Crumbling Necropolis, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, Crumbling Necropolis, the tapped tri-land that's not typed. But
Because
it's a quarter, so
I
that
don't
works.
think we could afford Xander's Lounge.
Probably not. It probably wouldn't be worth it. Yeah.
It's Xander's, yeah, it's $10.
Because Lord knows we're not putting fetch lands in this thing. So yeah. So I mean, do we want the gain lands like Dismal Backwater? Like they're not great. Like they're actually quite bad. But
I find it amusing that you go to the gain life lands first. Because I go to the temples first when I start going to cheap lands.
Oh, that's also, yeah. That's probably correct.
Because they're all like 20 cents or less.
Oh yeah, let's do those. Let's drop the gain lands and let's do the temples. Yeah, that's correct.
So let's get rid of that Dismal Backwater.
Yeah, let's get that out of here.
Remember when temples used to be good?
Yeah. Well, and actually, and you know what? The bounce lands, I do enjoy the bounce lands. But that's one thing I think they're actually quite good, especially in reanimator decks, because there is the magical Christmas land scenarios. Yeah, bounce lands gives you back your MDFCs, Benji. I love that. That's true. Additionally, the dream sequence in an opening hand is to have one of the bounce lands. And the other thing that I'm going to insist we do not put in this deck is any way to remove our max hand size. In reanimator decks, like Reliquary Tower is an active liability. We love discarding stuff. I love filling my graveyard. And so the dream sequence with those bounce lands is like turn 1, we drop a one dropper like a temple or something. And then turn 2, we hit the bounce land, bounce the other one back. And now at the end of the turn, we have 8 cards in our hand. So we have to discard something.
I hate bounce lands so much.
And that allows us to discard one of our big threats on turn 2 with no card expenditure. I love that crap. I love it. I think it's quite good.
I hate them so much.
I know, and they're
so much.
So in order to play all of our like mana rocks and everything, I think an untapped lands on 2 are going to be really important. But the fast lands are not going to be worth it in the late game, and they're going to be way too expensive because of their utility in other formats.
Yeah. But Smoldering Marsh
lands.
Is a Smoldering Marsh and Sunken Hollow Charlie brought up. So they're the
oh, tap unless you control 2 or more basic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are rock solid. Yep.
I know how to play bounce lands. I play them by throwing them in the trash. I actually
could also be decent.
The only time I actually play bounce lands is on Arena in Standard when I'm playing the colorless bounce land when I'm playing my mono black Ugin deck.
Neat.
He's a Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong because if you bounce a desert, you get to scry. Or no, you get to surveil, whatever.
Oh, sure.
Darkwater Catacombs and Shadowblood Bridge.
Are those the filter lands?
I think so.
Okay.
And you might have missed the conversation. Yeah, they are. Ham does not like the filter lands.
No, and for the record, they are good. They're perfectly fine. My dislike for them is purely that they make my brain go hurty. Keeping track of that is a pain. Meanwhile, I love the guild signets. Is that a double standard? Well, yeah. Why just have standards when you can have double standards?
Which is what, and I hate guild signets. I don't play them.
Yeah, see, I don't like them on my lands. I'm okay with them as artifacts, though. Again, massive double standard, but it is what it is. I do think the checklands, like Sulphur Falls, could be decent.
What are the other checklands?
Dragon Skull Summit
I don't. The reason why I'm saying this is because I don't
and
actually keep track of them.
right.
And
And then
what's
Drowned Catacombs, although it looks like Drowned Catacombs might actually
no
be
Drowned Catacombs is the Drowned Catacombs. Yeah, I was thinking Dark Water. Drowned Catacombs is $1.38, but that's because Drowned Catacombs doesn't get that many reprints. I assume, but I don't know why it's that cheap. Why it's that
right.
expensive in consideration. Um,
Yeah, there's got to be something there. Something
Underground
reasonable.
River, Shivan Reef. Oh, is
Yeah, Shivan
Checkland?
Reef and Underground River and Sulphur Springs are the pain lands, and all of those are going to be relatively inexpensive. Yeah.
Why is Underground? Is it just because of the version of Underground River? I don't know. Why is that $1?
I don't know.
I just want to see. No, it's just $1. The only reason why I was checking to see if it was because of the version is because it was in my collection.
Mm, gotcha. Makes sense.
If we're playing the check lands, well, I think that we should have more lands that have basic land types.
Yes. One quick thing though, because we're in Grixis, Oscorp Industries
Yes,
is excellent for what we're doing.
and it's a good card.
Yeah, it's actually quite solid, and it's less than $1. This one is the tap Triome with Mayhem, so we can discard it till like it sees the spoilers or something, and then play it out of our graveyard. If we do, we lose 2 life, but hashtag worth it. Yep. Also, hashtagging outside of Twitter. All right.
Um,
Is Carnage good here? I don't think we have enough small creatures. I do love Carnage though.
It's cheap. As of right now, we don't really have things that are mana value 3 or less.
Yeah.
Do I think we probably should go and get some more of those? Yes, but as of right now, we don't really have things for it.
Yeah, some more cheaper setup creatures like Stitcher, Supplier, and whatnot definitely do need to happen. Yeah, we just need to figure out what those are.
Carnage could make sense if those work, but as of right now,
yeah, and we don't have a ton of discard. Like we've got some, but not a ton.
So what? And I know you want to put basics in here, of
Yes.
course. Do you have
quite a bit?
Do you have an idea of like for you when you're playing a 3-color deck? Is there like a minimum number of basics you put in the deck?
I generally run more than a lot of others, and I don't have a firm minimum. I know if I'm running green with ways to like fetch out basic lands, I run significantly more, kind of obviously. In those situations, like I try to like have like almost 30, which is obviously like way more than we would in other scenarios. Like something like this, I would want to make sure we have at least 10. And I kind of don't mind the idea of going closer to 15.
So
Like starting off as a baseline, just 5 of each, and kind of seasoning to taste and adjusting as we go based on kind of what the pip requirements are when we're done, I think is a reasonable starting place. Yeah.
and that gives you an idea of how many more lands you want to add.
Right.
Taking a break in the middle of our lands, though, this has become my favorite question to ask someone.
Yeah.
If you were allowed to ban one card from existing in Magic forever, what card would you ban?
In all of Magic forever, doesn't exist any formats. It's recalled for safety reason. Every freaking copy has been burnt, kind of a vibe.
Yes.
Scorched Earth doesn't exist. Okay.
Correct.
That's a tough one.
I know, because you hate
I've got
so
a
many
lot of
cards.
I dislike. I have so many cards I absolutely hate. Basically, like, funnily enough, almost every single auto include that we've talked about, all of them. And yes, that includes like Command Tower and Soul Ring and all that jazz. I like my gameplay to be dynamic and diverse, and anything that prevents that is, I think, makes the game worse. But there is one card that the first one that comes to mind. I just need to own it. I just need to call it what it is. That I think I don't begrudge anyone for playing it because it's the best thing you could possibly be doing in its slot. So I don't begrudge anyone for wanting to play a powerful card that can prevent them from losing. But it's got to be Farewell. Magic became worse when they printed Farewell. Full stop. Like that card is odious, it is disgusting, and I hate it. And I don't think there are some better ways to play it than others. Additionally, I say this, if you go to my Mox Field right now, my Door to Nothingness deck that has Giganta as a commander absolutely has a copy of Farewell in it. That's a bracket 4 deck, and I hate myself for running it, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, that card, there are people who are like, oh, but I use it right. I don't just full send with no plan. I always have a plan. Fine. You still have the option of saying, I'm just going to add an hour to this game for no value. Like, Scheherazade is banned because it does that. I don't understand why Farewell isn't. Like,
I love Farewell so much.
I hate it. I hate it so much. The game became worse when it got printed. Just done. It's awful. I hate it. So that's yeah. And on top of that, there are a ton of other ones. You might be like, but you didn't mention Armageddon. You didn't mention friggin' Jockle Hops. Like, there's a ton of cards that do that we've all kind of accepted. Like, we've all kind of agreed you shouldn't play that. But Farewell has been recent enough and it's been reprinted enough. And people they're like, oh, this is the Final Fantasy X version, or this is the Doctor Who version. Like, and so there's this feeling that like, oh, this one's different. And it's like, no, it's not. Stop it. Anyway, so that one is that one is common enough that I find it very frustrating.
Farewell is a card I love.
People just don't play them.
But I also understand other people's reactions to it, that I limit the decks I put it in.
And that's smart. And I can appreciate that. And again, I don't hate anybody. Like, I literally am running it in one of my decks. It's only one, and I only ever play that deck in high power pods, but still. And for the record, I'm not going to tell you, oh, but I'm playing it correctly. Because I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm doing the thing it's designed to do, which is stop the game from happening that has happened up until this point. It is the oh poop, I need to like hit an emergency button and literally reset the game, because this game that I'm in, I'm going to lose. That is what I use it for, because that is literally what it's for. So it just is what it is. Anyway, meanwhile, Merciless Eviction, which is very similar but limited in what you can target, that card rules. It also doesn't touch my graveyard. So I'm cool with that. Anyway, for the record.
Graveyards.
Thank you for letting me get that off my chest. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was a can of worms. Are you sure you wanted to, like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite question.
You actually asked.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite question to ask people.
Yeah.
So we're at 31 lands right now. So I know you, and I know you want to add probably at least you want to add 9 more with the mana value of your commander.
Yes, we have a fat commander, and here's the thing: when it comes to ramping, when it comes to ramp, I know a lot of people would look at this and go like, "Oh, we have so many mana rocks, we don't need that many lands." If you are paying for mana rocks and you stop hitting your lands but are still paying for mana rocks, you are paying to hit your land drops. Ramp is only good if you are also hitting your land drops. So I want a ton of lands. And yeah, we have an 8 mana commander that we want to be able to recast multiple times if possible. So yes, 100%.
What are the shock lands at right now? Like, Steam Vents got reprinted, right?
Steam Vents is going to be reprinted.
Oh, it's going to be. Yeah, that's not worth it. I forget which one. Watery Grave is $7.93. The rest of the other 2 are $15.
We can get a Watery Grave in there.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
The Battle Bond lands might be okay.
Possibly. Are there any other like typed lands that could be worth it? They aren't. Veggie, yeah, I believe you.
No, they aren't. Oh, they're crazy now? Okay. Yeah, you know better than I do.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't looked
believe
at
it.
price on lands in a while. Uh, Verges. Verges are crazy right now.
Verges are bonkers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the pathways are going between like 6 and 8. Like those are
15.
okay. I
Blazemeyer Verges. Blazemeyer Verges 682. But like, yeah, and
yeah.
with this being a budget mana base, I don't like the Verges.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you on that. Because the verges become quite good when you have access to like fetches and shocks. But
Yeah,
without those, it's kind of yeah. They're fine, but not worth the price.
yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like I mean, we do have things like Maestro's Theater. It's basically Evolving Wilds, but you gain a life.
Yeah.
That's probably not worth it. Um,
Um, if you want to gain the life,
I don't know that we have anything that'll really benefit from that. My only thought with a card like that that's able to fetch is we have enough like like the check lands being
Mhm.
able to get a specific one of those on could be good.
Yeah.
Um oh, Path of Ancestry.
Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah.
Because I started also thinking of utility lands, and one that I was thinking that might be okay. I just don't know if it because you're not really even sacrificing, and it's the only reason why I haven't brought it up. But Spymaster's Vault, I love this card.
Okay.
Uh,
Your trap extracts the number of creatures that died this turn.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish we had more. Well, you know what? We're not done. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. Because another thing that I absolutely love whenever I'm doing any kind of reanimate nonsense are like fleshbag marauder style effects,
I know.
like accursed marauder and like plague crafter. Like I love that crap. It's I really enjoy
I
it.
was waiting for you to tell
And
me to put those in, so I'm just doing it now.
yeah, yeah, accursed marauder. Like just get that in there.
Plague
Accursed marauder's insane.
Crafter.
It's the best in class. Yeah, plague crafter's another one. Yep.
Do you want flashback as
We
well?
don't. No, we don't need
Okay.
fleshbag if we got those two. It's fine. Um, Yeah. Now, do we have enough like cheap reanimation spells? Because we have a couple of like big ones, and we have our commander, obviously.
We
If
don't
we're gonna be
really.
running those, yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say we really don't have reanimation spells right now, and I feel like once we finish the lands, then I was gonna actually suggest that the things that I'm really seeing that you're missing at this point is reanimation, uh,
yep,
interaction, and card draw.
yeah, more, yeah, and card draw. Oh yeah, we definitely need plenty more card draw. Also like, mill is another thing. Like allegedly, that's what we were going for. Like Stitcher Supplier is one that we just need to not forget that. Um, I feel like that's just exactly the thing we want. You know. And then as far as like card draw goes, we have the discard draws. What about like Deadly Dispute? Because that one, it's a sack for one of our tiny dudes. It's only 23 cents now. Dang, I
Yeah,
remember that was like $2.
right.
Yeah, reprints, baby. You'd love to see it. All right. Yeah. So Deadly Dispute's good, I think.
Do you know the card that is more expensive than I thought it was? Untimely
Oh, Untimely
Malfunction.
Malfunction. Yeah, that thing is it's good. It's very good, but like holy cow.
It's almost $6
$6.
now.
Woo. The weird rogue knight that connives on need to be an attack. I'm blanking on which one you mean, but I don't doubt it. The Scurrilous Sentry? Scurrilous Sentry? 2/3 for 5 with menace, and whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, it connives. Ha ha ha! Yeah. Heck yeah. And it's a common from MH3. Yeah, yeah.
I just want
Good
to.
call.
I
That's
just
fun.
want to see you say it.
Scurrilous Sentry. Scurrilous Sentry. Scurrilous Sentry. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. Excellent.
So
Sweet.
What
And
other
actually, there's only one
lands
other.
are you
Yeah,
thinking of for
there's only one other
this?
card in MH3 that connives that we don't have in this deck, but it's blue. So, alas.
Well, if it's
Shout out to
blue,
Copy Crook. Oh no, we do have
uh,
access to blue. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so used to being Sultai. Yeah, Copy Crook. You may have entered the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it
Do,
has whenever this creature attacks, it connives.
do you mean
I
you
mean,
mean Abzan? You used to mean Abzan?
I'm used to being Abzan. You're not wrong.
Which was going to be my next
Actually,
question. You kind of answered it for me. I was going to ask you
oh yeah,
what
yeah.
your favorite color combination was.
Favorite color combination: green, black, X. I love green, black as a base. My favorite deck that I own right now of all time, which actually, fun fact, I was on I did an interview with Show and Tell recently. He was doing a series where he was talking to creators about their signature deck, and mine was my 10 of the Harvester deck, which actually, if you look right now, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but man, it's really fun to toot my own horn. Yes, I've heard I'll go blind, but I haven't yet, so I'm sure it's fine. But if you go over to Moxfield right now and look at all decks that are featuring 10 of the Harvester as the commander, it's the most viewed. It's called 10 of the Hugstocrat. It's my like yeah, it's great. I love that deck. And it's Abzan Reanimator with 10 of the Harvester as the commander, and it's all like self mill like ramp living death rise of the dark realms nonsense. It's very fun, and it has a lot of like group hug elements, and it's kind of my favorite thing. And that deck, the main game plan is try to hit one of these big mass reanimators, bring everything out of the board, sack a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of Conrad or like other Blood Artist style pings out, and then like use an Eternal Witness to bring the other thing back to hand and just loop it. And so you can make like infinite aristocrat pings if you do it right. It's I love that deck. It's very, very fun. And it creates dynamic games, but also ends them when they've gone on too long, which is ideal in my opinion. Um, but so like Abzan is probably my go-to to the point where like I've even thought of like if I got a magic tattoo, what would it be? And I've thought about the Abzan clan symbol from Tarkir because it's just I love them so much. They're just I don't know. That's it.
I thought it
But
was just going to be a Stormcrow chess piece.
it was right there. Why didn't I think of that? That's brilliant. And then I can save up and I can get Colossal Dreadmaw on the back. So
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Love it. Done. Yeah, amazing. I'm gonna be a freaking like magic meme fresco under this shirt before long. Um, that involved so much shaving. Anyway, sorry, random aside there. But also like so I mentioned Sultai. I made a casual like jab about Sultai because, um, I actually recently looked at my like at all my commander decks and I realized I have like 4 Sultai decks. I just keep building them. Um and to the point where I'm actually taking a couple of them apart so I can consolidate, especially the mana base, and like try to like make 1 or 2 of them like actually good instead of having a bunch of half-baked ones.
I was like, do you
Um
keep building them
so
because
yeah.
they haven't scratched that itch for you, or because you just like Sultai?
It's a little bit of both. They keep coming out with interesting like the Sultai legends that they build are fun, interesting, unique graveyard matters things. So the like Mimeoplasm Revered one is one that I had to build the moment I saw it. It's like that's weird, that's new, that's And like, I really want to build like Sin Spear's Punishment. It uses the graveyard differently. It has Leviathan synergies. Like it's weird and cool and different. So that scratches that itch, that catches my attention. And then like the one Sultai deck that is kind of like my base one, yeah, Sin's Weird is basically a landfall deck. That's one good way to build it. Yeah. And I would want to build it with a lot of like Sea Creatures Matter stuff. Summon Leviathan and Sin next to each other, like they're right there. It's a ton of fun. And I've played that in standard and it kind of works, like which is weird, but it's a lot of fun. Um but the other one like Yarek, the Desecrated is my like main one that I want to fully optimize and be like my go-to. And it has some of the generic Yarek ETB good stuff. Like this enters draws a card. I got the Ravenous Chupacabras that like enters and kill stuff. It does that. But which is whatever. Like I'm not even gonna try to claim that like that's somehow like new and interesting. It's just we got the bread and butter. But what makes that deck interesting is in Sultai colors there are 23 battles from March of the Machine, and all of them are in there. alongside ways to remove counters from permanents. So I have like is like Thief of Blood, like which is a vampire. It's a 1/1 for 6 that you remove all counters from all permanents when it enters. So like it is capable of like flipping like every battle on the battlefield the moment it drops, which I have done before. I've definitely gotten like 6 battles out and nobody thought I was an issue, and then I dropped that, flipped them all immediately, and became the problem. It was awesome. And so like I really enjoy that. And the reason that Yarrick is the commander for the battles is they're all permanents with ETBs. And so like there are weird, interesting build arounds in just Sultai commanders that like Abzan commanders tend to be built differently. Like if you look at something like Felothar, the Steadfast, like that's an Abzan commander that is designed to be like Abzan, and its toughness matters, which is cool and fun, and I enjoy it. Like, you know, I've definitely built a Felothar deck, and I enjoy it very, very much. And it's a fun archetype capable of doing cool things, but it's not scratching that graveyard itch that I really go to, whereas the Sultai decks do, you know? So, yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Shannaball.
Shannibal, hello. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes
Does that make
sense.
sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You asked me one question, I'm going to go, baby.
Hey,
All right.
I know the answers to the questions before you're giving them, mostly
Yeah,
because
you know me pretty well at this
we
point. Yep.
we played. Everyone else gets to learn.
Right,
Uh,
exactly. It's content, baby. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
let's finish these lands up. We have 6 more. Do we want to go and put in a demo field or field of ruin?
Probably. Got to change the script. Yeah, I'm gonna say like Boros, so you're like, wait, what? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um, that's it. I do also enjoy Mono Red, which is very fun. Um, Shan, we hope that the rest of your day's going well too. I think actually a Field of Ruin. I actually, it's funny. I like Field of Ruin, even though Demolition Field is strictly better. Um,
I
but yeah,
So which one do you want, or do you want both?
let's go Demo Field. I'll be responsible. Not happy about it. Oh, the reason that I say that Demolition Field allows the other person that you hit to search the library for a basic land. If you hit with a Field of Ruin, every player does. So you just give other people value needlessly, but it also forces everyone to shuffle, which is fun. I've definitely seen a Field of Ruin prevent an Approach of the Second Sun from going off, and that was one of the coolest pieces of tech I've seen in a minute. It was very fun. Yeah.
Hell yeah, for learning something new.
Hell
Uh,
yeah, dude! I love learning stuff new. That's new. It's great.
Speaking of something that's new for you, Ham, I want to make the suggestion.
Yes.
I know you're gonna tell me no, but Bajuka Bog.
No, do it.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. I am I rail against Bajuka Bog. If you want to hear me like complain about Bajuka Bog, go to like early episodes of Generic Commanders. To the point where like if anyone has to play Bajuka Bog as an early land, they target me just out of like even when no one has a graveyard yet, because like, and I appreciate that. I feel respected in that regard. No, the land's great. It's just really really solid. So no, you're correct. And fun fact, I run it in a lot of decks. Like, you know, in on Arena, like all my Brawl decks and everything that allows me to like fetch lands, like with White of the Reliquary or like Primeval Titan, I run Bajuka Bog in all those decks. Because you should. Like, it's just good. Like, yeah. Crop rotation into a Bajuka Bog is just good play. I said stop touching my graveyards. Knock it off. Jeez.
No.
I know. I mean,
So,
I'm touching it all the time, so it's not appropriate for me to be mad at you touching it.
It just looks so nice. I just wanted to experience it. So we need to get to your 40.
Right.
You need 4 more lands.
Right. We do. And we're actually doing okay on budget.
We are
at this point too. Which
so,
I mean, we still have 20 some.
which makes me want to just go and add Toxroll now and remove it if we have to later.
Let's hit it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get Toxie in there. I'm so down for that. So we got the pain lands, we got the check lands. Could we afford? We have the lands where you reveal out of your hand. Those are an option.
Oh, you want Those. Why am I blanking on the
What?
name of them now, too? I know. Benji, you don't gotta
Snarls or
go.
like
Yeah, Snarls. Snarl.
snarls are. I mean, they're terrible, but at the same
What
time,
are
so
there's Frostboil,
Frostboil
Snarl,
snarl
and
is the desert one.
the other two aren't
The other
Snarls.
two are Foreboding Ruins and Choked Estuary. They're not actually snarls. Yeah. But you hate Toxtrol, and appropriately so. Toxtrol is very hateable. You should. Like, yeah. And
What is
you're
it?
not wrong.
What's
Uh,
the red black one again?
Foreboding Ruins.
You said four.
Foreboding Ruins is the FORE.
FORE. That's where I.
Yeah.
There we go.
Bam. I mean, they're tap lands most of the time, but sometimes they aren't. So that's fine. Ooh, so yeah, Benji, that's your number one most hated card. You both want to burn for content. You know what, Benji? Okay, I've opened a couple copies of Toxtril, and I only actually play him in like one deck because it is super mean.
Benji, would it
Like,
make
and
you
I'm
feel?
aware.
Would it make you feel better if it was Gary instead of Toxrol?
So
Because you can't be
I don't
mad
know.
at
We
Gary.
need to. Benji, we need to like connect at a con or something, and I need to bring a Toxtril for you so we can make that happen. Cause yeah, I'd be down for that.
Um, so one more.
Anyway,
So this is one that I
um,
add to all my decks. Scavenger Grounds.
oh, Scavenger Grounds. Cause you hate me, right?
I Now I don't know if you wanted to put it in this deck because it does hit your graveyard as well. But this does
True.
exile all graveyards. This is just
Oh, all graveyards? No.
yeah.
I thought. Oh yeah, I thought it was. If it was target players, different story. Which I thought it was, but yeah, no.
No.
Um, I can appreciate that though. Good card. No shade, don't hate it, but yeah, no.
Oh, I know a land that we have to add just because it's Ham and he loves this land and I hate it.
Temple of the Falls God. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Done. Boom, pow, in the books. Count it.
Okay.
Ah, perfect. That's all I needed. That was it.
So,
better now.
talking about cards that
Yep.
Benji hates, we talked about the card you hated. I want to go to the
Yes.
ban list. If you could remove one
Ah.
card from the ban list and add one card to the ban list in its place, what would you do?
Wow. That's a good question. So, I'm actually gonna pull it up because I'm trying to. Honestly, like I kind of feel like the current Commander ban list is actually pretty good. Um. That said, I do think I feel like the game changer system does really open up a lot of discussion around, what's appropriate and what's not. Like, I do think there are a number of cards that are currently on the ban list that could probably be taken off and moved to game changer and let the rule zero like discussions fall where they may. I think that could be reasonable. For kind of a lot. Like, you can make an argument that almost every card on the ban list right now could be thought of that way. Or could be, yeah. So I feel like I feel like it'd be wrong if I didn't say Gristlebrand, because we've been talking about that card as like the go-to reanimation threat.
Yep.
However, I do understand the concern with it. So it's one of those where if you can get it out, the amount of value it generates is insane. So, like, I get it. But moving that to the game changer list, like, I don't know. That seems okay to me.
What would you put on there to take its place?
Funnily enough, I don't think I could justify Farewell. I would want to see it go, but at the same time, like, I think we should take something like Armageddon. That
Okay.
or like Armageddon or like Winter Orb, like some of these like stacks cards that are universally hated. Like, does anyone in CEDH play Armageddon? Like, I
No.
don't think so, right? Yeah, exactly. So like there are plenty of other ones where like Winter Orb and Stasis, like you can make an argument that like at the CEDH tables maybe there's a place for that. So like maybe okay. Um, but like yeah, like Armageddon is one of those where like all it does is salt. Like nobody likes that card, like except for douchebags who want to grief. And like we shouldn't give griefers food. So like I think taking Armageddon out of the card pool, I think would be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Benji,
Yeah.
I disagree with that take because I still have yet to see a game where the player that played Descent into Avernus actually won the game.
Yeah, so
I
Benji's
hate that card so much.
argument is Descent into Avernus should be a game changer, which I don't hate. But there are a number of cards that I've seen consistently change the game when they drop and like completely take over the entire dynamic that are not on the game changer list. And Descent into Avernus is one of them. Like that definitely sets the tone. Like when that's live, oh boy howdy, the game gets changed. There's no question about it. Um, but you know, and so it does completely impact the game state. But at the same time, I would also argue that you know, Sir Conrad does that too. Every game I've seen Sir Conrad in, like it changes the dynamic
Don't
of the
don't
game
talk
moving
about my baby boy
forward,
that
and
way.
it often wins. No, that's what I'm saying. The card is amazing. It's phenomenal, and it can easily like I don't think you can build a bracket 2 deck and not have like if you put Conrad in a bracket 2 deck where it is appropriate for Conrad to be, he's just gonna take over. Like he just does. That's what he does. Like so
And
so at the end of the
that's
day, I think calling that a game changer is reasonable and fair.
and I actually
And
think you
there are
hit on the game changer and why I think I would be. I still don't think Conrad should be a game changer, but I would more be willing to agree with you about Conrad being a game changer as opposed to Benji with Descent into Avernus being one. Because a game changer
yeah
should go and lead to you having a higher probability of winning the game. And I
yeah
know it's bad data because it's just my personal experience and it might not be accurate. But when every single game that I've been involved with, either involved with or watched, that a Descent into Avernus has hit the battlefield, the Descent player hasn't won. But that's all. I'm also anti giving resources to your opponents because a lot of times in a card like Descent into Avernus, you're helping the player that got stuck in some way, and you're letting them catch back up, and all they needed were those two treasures to go and do what they needed to do.
sure. Yeah, and so it's funny. Like I like honestly I like Descend to Avernus, but at the same time, the point stands that it can kind of take over. Like the type of game you are playing. See, so here there's the thing. The type of game you're playing when a Descent into Avernus hits is different than the kind of game you're playing without it. Like it does fundamentally change the entire experience. And so I can appreciate the idea of like calling out that like if you're running this kind of card, you should probably disclose it. And like in your discussion in setting expectations of what kind of game you're stepping into. I feel like that's reasonable,
But
you
like
know?
to me, a Descent into Avernus changes the game in the same way that other group hug cards do, like Mana
Yeah.
Flaring does.
Well, and another card that I think of that does that as well, that I don't see a lot of other people play, but I sure as hell do, is Repercussion. It's a card I absolutely love. It's an enchantment for 1 red red. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, Repercussion deals that much damage to that creature's controller. So it just makes blocking pointless, and I love it. um, so like it's one of those where the moment you add that, there are certain strategies where survival is all around like being able to block, or like all of a sudden like the wall deck is like, well crap, I don't have any removal, like why would I do that? It's like, well, okay, great, I'm just gonna punch. I can keep punching your walls, but the walls are gonna be punching you now. Like it's I love that stuff, and that does change things. um you know, that does change the dynamic of the gameplay dramatically. But at the same time, like, I don't think anyone's calling for Repercussion to be on the game changer list. And like, I run Repercussion in, you know, I believe my Ilharg deck, and I don't feel the need to call it out. Like, I'm just like, I'm mono red slugs. I'm trying to punch a lot of stuff, and like, it helps me punch stuff. So, but it does change the game. It really does. Same with like, you know, Bedlam and things like that.
Oh,
Um,
love Bedlam.
right. Yeah. Those kind of effects are very fun, but they do change the game. So, how drastic of an impact do they need to have to be considered game changers?
See, and that's my.
Interesting question.
There are
Yeah.
so many cards that change the game and
Hmm.
change the tone of a game. However, for me to consider a card a game changer, it also has to go and significantly increase your chance of winning the game.
Yeah. See, I don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't know that that's necessary to be considered a game changer personally. Because I don't know. I've seen a lot of like farewell often doesn't increase your chances of winning. It ensures you don't lose right
Well,
now. Even
Farewell isn't a game changer, is it? I
which is
can't check.
absurd.
Yeah, so that's
I
what I
think
mean.
you're correct. I don't think it is, but
Yeah,
it
I can't
it,
even
it
look.
should be. It's ridiculous that it's not. It's ridiculous that Force of Will is a game changer and Farewell isn't. Like that is a secondary market call and not an actual gameplay call.
I
It's
also
absurd.
I think the free
Yeah.
spells should be like the free counter spells. I actually think most of the free spells that are akin to that, like Force of Will, like either Force of Vigor, Fierce Guardianship, all those like free spells, I'm okay with them being on Game Changers list, even though it's really only the free counter spells and Deflecting Swat, which is essentially a free counter spell, end up there.
Yeah. If they made a blanket statement about free spells, then okay. Because like games where free spells are available versus games where they're not do play differently. So okay, fair. Because I'm gonna get you with that obscuring haze, and you're not gonna see it coming. But
Obscuring
yeah,
Haze is criminally underplayed.
right for real. Okay, wait, we agree on something. Oh man,
Yes.
are you feeling okay? Am I feeling okay? Anyway,
Speaking of, hey, wait a minute, we're talking about fogs.
right, right,
Do you
right.
want your darkness? It's
Not
$7
for
now.
that. Not for that price. But I mean, I do. But no.
Yeah, put your money into big bads, not that.
Right. Exactly.
So we need
Oh man.
a. So you have 16 cards left. We need interaction. You need more big dumbs and more card
Yes.
draw.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Bone Shards is a 15-cent the card that is absolutely fantastic. Because it's from Modern Horizons 2, so of course it is. It's a sorcery for 1 as an additional cost. You must sacrifice a creature or discard a card, or as I like to say, you get to sacrifice a creature or discard a card, and destroy a creature or planeswalker.
So if we're looking at the discard a card as a qualifier to help with the whole
Yeah.
reanimation, Bitter Triumph.
Yes. That was 100%. How much is that going for? Because that's my only concern. Oh, it's $100. Yes, get that in there. Hundo%.
It's fallen out of favor quite a bit. So
Yeah, which is wild. I think it's quite good. Oh, another one that would help with ramp. That is another underrated card that I'm realizing actually would fit this deck quite nicely. Collector's Vault.
you love yourself, Collector's Vault.
I love Collector's Vault. Those treasure tokens that this thing generates are kind of nuts, and we do have Junkwinder in there still, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it does the things. It can help us fill our graveyard. It can create treasure tokens, turn over turn, the ability to ramp into our commander, like make sure we hit our land drops. Like, it's all the things. I love it. Yeah, big fan. So a Commander Matters partner deck, from your built. Owns all the free if you control your commander spells and their colors. Yeah, Darth, that's those ones. The free if you control your commanders, your Deadly Relics and your Fierce Guardianships, those are like bonkers. Those being like,
Mm-hmm.
considered game changers or, like, yeah, they're very good. Um yeah, yeah,
With card draw,
bonkers.
do you want to
But yeah,
play a
card draw.
Phyrexian Arena?
Oh,
Because Phyrexian Arena is cheap.
probably. Yeah.
It's less than $1, or it was. Oh no, it's less than
Yeah,
$2
cuz
still.
wow,
And you can't
I'm
read it because
curious.
it's Phyrexian.
Yeah. Unholy Annex is like just over $1 and is also similar. Yeah, right? Okay, like I know it's 2 life, but come on, whatever. Like, yeah. Yeah, Unholy Annex is bonkers. I love that card.
And I still see fringe
So,
standard play, and that's why I'm saying what the heck.
right? Well, I think that standard deck is falling out of favor like pretty hard. So that a lot of those might be hitting the secondary market as a result. But yeah. But
Well,
still.
that's why I went with fringe.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I played on Holy Annex. Oh,
Right. I
Um,
did. I think yesterday. Yep. So yeah,
do you want any
I'm a fan.
counter spells?
That's a good question. Yes, we should have some counter spells. It's just a question of what. So, um, we could go. A card that might line up nicely with our commander is Urtai Resurrected. The reason I say that is it's a creature that is a counterspell or a kill spell. And so Sauron, if we don't have any other options, we can pull Urtai Resurrected to the field and get a kill spell out of the deal. It does give our opponents cards, which I know is not ideal, but we're looking for onboard tempo swings, and he can give us that.
So with
So,
us
yeah.
playing counter spells. Oh no, so I was talking
Yeah.
about counter spells. We talked about deflecting SWAT. How about Bolt Bend?
Bolt Bend. I need to look at this.
You don't know about our Lord and Savior Bolt Bend? It's $3 now.
I don't know why I don't understand, or why I didn't know about Bolt Bend. That actually looks quite good. 330 though.
You're
Yeah, it's not really
well.
cheap,
So
unfortunately.
here's the thing.
If this was a buck, hell yeah, make it happen. But yeah.
Two things. Go. One. Yeah, it is over $3. You're still underneath. With me adding it, you're still underneath $85 with nine cards left to add. So you still
Oh no,
have
I
over
know.
$60 left to play with.
But I don't want to spend it on
Okay.
this. I want to upgrade our reanimation suite and our big dumbs over stuff like this. So thank you though. I can appreciate it.
I didn't think it'd be over $3 with the game reprinted in Foundations.
Right? Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. Another card that got reprinted on Foundations that would be worth considering is Massacre Worm. Yeah, other redirects. There are a couple. There are a couple of other redirect effects.
Do people
We were
just
looking at
like? I was just saying, is like, are
what was
redirect effects just expensive now?
they appear to be. People realize how good they are. Dude, reroute. I forgot about reroute.
Because untiming malfunction is really expensive right now as well.
Yep. Yeah, reroute's really funny. It only targets activated abilities though, but you draw a card. So like it's a cantrip, but only for activated abilities, and you can't cast it without a target. So like you have to have an activated ability that's targeting something. Um yeah, it's very specific. Funny card, but yeah. All right. Well, there's also like um speaking of free spells, there's misdirection. But no, that's even more than ball bend. Never mind. Um
Hydro.
Hydroelectric specimen. Oh, the Modern Horizons 3 MDFCs are
Yes.
quite good. When it enters the battlefield, you may change the target instant sorcery spell with a single target to itself. Oh, so it's like the what's it, Spellskite, where it pulls focus. It tanks abilities.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we want
Yeah,
like
Darth, you yeah.
actual hard counters though.
Right. We probably should have more hard counters in here. So like one of them that comes to mind right now, just because I've been stuck in standard purgatory for a while, is 3 steps ahead. That's a card that I think is quite strong. That said, it's also not like super cheap, unfortunately.
It's $3, but
Um,
what I like about it with it being $3 is it is a counter spell, but it is also a spell that leans into what you want to do in the deck by putting things into the graveyard.
right. Yeah, exactly. So like if we cast it, I mean if we hold it up on 3 and go all the way around the table and don't get anything worth countering, um we can pay 3 and just draw 2 and dump. And if you get to 5, we can prevent, a board wipe or something and then also do the draw and discard. And if we do get a chance to make a copy of like a bonkers creature in the process, okay, neat. Like that's just yeah. So no, 3 steps I think is actually quite good, and yeah, it fits.
Do you want to leave the hydroelectric specimen in, or do you want me to take it out?
Uh I don't know why I'm Dopplering. Um I'm thinking we could keep it We could keep it and cut a land.
Okay.
Keep it and cut an island. Is that crazy?
For that card, I don't think so because I don't think it's particularly good to the point that I think more often than not you'll end up playing it as a land.
Sure.
Whereas if we were talking like the black removal spell, I wouldn't want to cut a land for that.
Yeah, like Fel the Profane. Yeah. Because we really would like to keep it up.
Yeah.
If we can. Yeah, I gotcha. Which, speaking of, Fel the Profane.
Fel the Profane,
It's removal. It's land. It's expensive.
It's $5.
Yeah, woof. All right.
Hagar Mauling is not as good, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because it comes in tapped, but it is also less than $1.
Yeah, that is a fine budget alternative. Let's go. Good shout.
They're essentially the same card, except you can't bolt in your land for Hagar Mauling.
Yeah. And there is an outside chance that Hagar Mauling only costs 3, but I'm certainly not counting on that. Yeah. Okay. Neato. Oh. Valdarin Thrillseeker. As far as our fling package goes. Oh, Bogger Trawler rules. Yeah.
But that is very good.
Yeah,
okay.
Thrillseeker's good. And yeah, Bogger Trawler's like a $1. That's a good shout. That's awesome. Yep. Yeah, and I kind of like Bogger Trawler too. Like, it's like a sideboard card. Like, if we're going up against an opponent who cares about their graveyard, we're just not going to play it as a land. But, like, if we don't believe our opponent's really going to leverage their graveyard, we just got to land. Okay, neat. Like, it's fine. Yeah.
Well, Benji, it is a non-bow with those, but you also want to... You're not going to play those back-to-back, though.
Yeah, I'm okay with having a little bit of anti-synergy. Yeah, I'm all right with that. But you're right. Like, we definitely would have to be aware of that. Because if Kefka Dancing Mad is in the graveyard, then I'm not... Like, if we're in a scenario where we are likely to reanimate it, I'm definitely not going to want to be exiling graveyards going into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, both with Boggart Trawler and Hagar Mauling, I wouldn't cut a land because there is a high likelihood that those are getting played on their spell side. And that's kind of how I always decide on my MDFCs. Am I going to play this as a spell, or is it more likely that it's going to come in as a land? If it's more likely that it's going to come in as a land, I cut the land. Otherwise, I keep the land in there.
Groovy. All right.
So what big, expensive, dumb thing do you want to put in the deck? You could afford a Norman Osborn now.
We could. I don't know. I don't know. So we have a Living Death. We have Breach the Multiverse.
Do you want your Animate Dead?
I adore Animate Dead. I think a better choice would actually be Stitched Together.
Oh, and there's a card that... Did I? Yeah, I spelled it wrong. Missed the H. Okay. The other card that you and Darth both brought up early on that we didn't go and actually add was Victimize.
Yes, Victimize, 100%. You know, today when I was I was actually playing my Norman Osborn Commander deck on Arena, and I literally victimized a Gran. Chat was not happy about that.
Do you blame them?
No, not at all. But the turn after, I hardcasted Arden, and if our opponent hadn't scooped, I was going to, like, demonically raise Gran, and I thought that was going to be dope as hell. Anyway.
Do you want yourself an Arden?
Gran to reanimate, I believe it was Villas, and then, yeah. Actually, Arden is kind of cheap for what it does right now, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, get him in there. It's with a Y. Ardyn. Yep.
Fucking Final Fantasy bullshit.
I know, it just had to be... Yeah, I know, right?
Do you want
a Japanese fantasy character? So here we are.
In the same vein of playing standard legal cards that interact with the graveyard, do you want a Superior Spider-Man?
You mean Kaveru the Mindbitten? If we do that, if we're gonna do Superior Spider-Man, I kind of want to bring Bringer the Last Gift in here too, and just do that dumb thing. That combo is so stupid.
So that
I
actually,
think we.
adding those two cards actually took you up to $100. Not $100, I mean 100 cards. So
Okay.
we are at the point that we do have 100 cards in the deck. However, we are able to go and add and remove because you have $56 essentially to mess with in your budget.
Amazing. There is one card that I absolutely freaking adore that I think is one of the best cards Wizards printed in a long time that I didn't bring up because it's crazy expensive because Reanimator players know. Overlord of the Baelmerk.
Okay.
It is a thing of beauty and it makes me so stupid happy. I love it so much. It's a 5-drop that upon entering and attacking, mill 4 cards and return a non-avatar creature or a planeswalker from the graveyard to hand. So it's just raised dead. It's a raised dead that also mills consistently, and you can impend it for 2.
Do you know what's funny? Your commanders are both
And the
Avatar.
card is
Your commander's an Avatar.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Yeah, I'm over that.
Um,
And you know what? Let's put Animate Dead in here because we can. We'll figure out the cuts. Like we can afford it. So yeah.
and
We'll put
Animate
that in
Dead
there, too.
isn't actually that expensive.
Not really, which is kind of wild.
Neither is Reanimate. They both have gotten reprints.
They have, which is good. And yeah, like, and it's funny. I like Reanimate, but like, I don't know, not as much as I think it is overrated in Commander specifically. When cards like Animate Dead or Stitch Together exist, I think they just perform better more often than not. The life loss on Reanimate is often significant. So
And if you want
it
to,
can be good.
if you want to upgrade your mana rocks from signets to talismans, you could do that as well.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah. Yeah, what are the cuts? Actually, with Bogger Trawler, maybe we do cut Esper's to Magicite. Because we have the Bajuka Bog and the Bogger Trawler. I don't know how much graveyard hate we're actually going to need.
But Ham. Okay.
I know. I like Esper's to Magicite too, but like... We also now have Superior Spider-Man and Arden, all of which, and I believe Animate Dead as well, can like tinker with our opponent's graveyard. So like we're going hard on playing in the yard. So thinning out our graveyard hate, I think, is reasonable. And we could probably drop Thud. With the Thrill Seeker and Fling and the Callous Sellsword, we're probably good on that front. All right, we're up to 125. Are there any other like?
Do you want to put a game changer in here of any kind?
Question now, isn't it? I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure if there are any specific game changers.
The only one that makes
Maybe Ancient
sense.
Tomb? No, that's probably too much. No, it's way
I
too much.
I think it is. I think it's over 50, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's 90. Ooh.
And Consecrated Sphinx is a little pricey as well. Honestly, I don't know that any of the game changers are going to fit within our budget.
Consecrated Sphinx. If you you can make it fit if you shave a couple dollars because it's $27.81. I want to add it and then I want to update the cheapest and see where we are. You'd have to cut you'd have to cut 250.
Okay.
Essentially to play Consecrated Sphinx.
All right. can do that.
Which is essentially as easy as going right back from the talismans right back to the signets.
I mean, you're right, but like, I'm good at the. I like the talismans. Um, Consecrated Sphinx is so silly.
It is.
Yeah, the other game changer that I think could be really good here is Gifts Ungiven.
I
But that's like $5.
I forgot that
So
Gifts Ungiven is off the list.
right. I'm just looking at Scryfall and it popped up. I was like,
Yeah.
holy cow, wait a
So
minute.
Gifts Ungiven, for those that aren't aware, is a card that saw a lot of reprints. And by a lot, I mean it was in Double Masters 2022. And what happened is there was a lot of people that didn't realize that Gifts Ungiven was banned in Commander, and they opened it in Double Masters. And they tried to play it in Commander, and realized they couldn't play it in Commander.
Yep. And it's really good. It's like really good. Yeah, so if we get yeah. Okay. So as far as cuts go,
Well, you don't have to make any cuts unless you want to add something else. And you don't have to use your entire budget unless you want to.
okay. Wait, so we took Consecrated Sphinx out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you wanted me to take it out.
I mean, it's fine.
I could put it
We
back
probably
in.
should. We probably should live without it. It's okay.
How much?
Actually, how much is the hydroelectric specimen?
It's cheap. It's $1.64.
Okay. So if we cut that and put Consecrated Sphinx in, where does that put us? Or we could go with Gifts Ungiven and just have a couple bucks to spare.
That would put you at a 151.35. Your commander's 42 cents, so you would have to find 90-ish cents to cut.
Okay. That's definitely doable. All right. If we take out... I'd say, like, Phyrexian Arena is
It's $1.98.
$1.98. With Consecrated Sphinx, we wouldn't need that as much. So we could drop that.
And would you want to go back up to the island because we cut the hydroelectric?
Yeah, we can put the fifth island back in. Perfect. Bam.
There we go.
Nailed it.
Any other changes you think you want to make?
I don't think so.
Your curve doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to.
And Reanimator decks have goofy curves. So this one actually is one of the most responsible curves I've seen in a minute, which let's go.
I thought this curve was going to look a lot worse.
Yeah, my favorite is like when you look at a mana curve and it's just like you have the normal mana curve and then your 7 drops or like 7+ drops are like through the roof. That makes me really happy. Which, to be fair, Moxfield does split out 6, 7, and 8. A lot of those,
Yeah.
they concatenate like 7 and 8 because, like, who has too many of those? Like, well, we do, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, look at, and none of these, okay, you could cast Junkwater cheaper, but like
Yep.
none of you're playing the ones that are like, no, you have to pay full price for this.
No, yeah, exactly. You're paying full price or you're reanimating it. Those are your only choices, and I love that.
So
Sick. I actually really like this.
what would you like
Oh.
to name the deck?
Ooh. So yeah, Sauron Lord. I mean, so it's titular Sauron is who we're playing here. I didn't realize there would be a test.
There's always a test.
And I often fail. So, yeah, It's just it's so yeah, anybody in chat have any ideas? Yeah, catch people with a name question. It's
Yeah.
I should have known that was coming. So Charlie, the question is, what do we want to name the deck? So this is Grixis. It's Grixis value. Well, it's value. That's ultimately what this is. So yeah, because it's a $150 budget, and we're trying to get big value. We're looking for deals. That is what this is. That's what this is all about. We're looking to get like 8 and 9 mana worth of stuff on the cheap, right?
Shopping at
So
Aldi's.
like, right? Um, Sauron's like bargain basement, or something like that, right? Popping tags.
Popping tags.
Popping tags. That's a timely reference, right? Hello, fellow kids. All right. I can
$150
text
in my
it, though.
pocket.
Exactly. Gonna pop some tags. You have the thrifter grifter. Exactly. We're going thrifting. Oh. Hell, Brandon Pals. I get that reference. Let's go.
So, which one out of the three names, the popping tags, Sauron the Thrifter Grifter, or Hallbrand and Pals, would you like?
I like popping tags. It's
Popping
silly,
tags?
but I enjoy that reference. It makes me happy. Yep. Excellent.
It's a bracket 3 deck, yay!
Sick.
We hit all the
Yay!
requirements.
Nailed it. Beautiful. Well done. I want to take this thing for a test drive. That's pretty dope.
Boom, right into the crick. Wait, what? Oh, what?
What now?
Huh? So yeah, that's the deck that we built today. I am going to go and add you onto it, so that way you could go and make any
Please do.
changes whenever you feel like it.
Thank you.
So before we go and end this lovely interview, remind everyone again where to find you.
Yeah, so I'm here on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhocks42. I also do have like a link tree, like a professional or something. Would it be okay if I drop that into the chat?
Oh, definitely drop it.
All right, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping tags. No, I'm gonna be dropping links. So yeah, that's where you can see all the things. I do a lot of stuff. Not the least of which is also Generic Commander, which is a regularly it's a weekly Commander show that is over on YouTube as well as anywhere you get your podcasts. Because we understand that when people watch Commander gameplay, they're often just listening to it. And so we decided, hey, rather than make you have the YouTube app up on your phone, which if you don't pay for YouTube Premium, you might not be able to like minimize it in the background, and that's super annoying. We're just available on podcast apps. So you can just listen to us as we play it out. And we do our best to narrate the cards as we go to make it easy to follow, even if you're not looking. Which is a lot of fun. And I think that was I'm proud of that innovation. I think we did a good job with that. So yeah. And they're very fun games.
It looks better because you don't see my face.
I disagree, but okay. Yeah. That said, sometimes the visual reactions are definitely fun. So check out the YouTube as well. But yeah, it's a good time. Then I stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhocks42, starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about Magic constantly, which, believe it or not, is a thing I can do. And then also playing on Arena. And I'm entering my Brawl era, and it's getting weird and fun. So yeah. If you enjoyed that farewell rant earlier, boy, howdy, do I have a deal for you. I do it every day. Come say hi.
At least 3 days a week, farewell gets brought up.
It's not uncommon. Yep.
But,
especially now that I'm playing Brawl again. Anyway,
well,
yep.
Thank you, Ham, for joining me. Thank you, chat, for joining and giving great advice on cards to go and add. YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.